Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. And if it's your first time on my channel, thanks for coming to say hi. And let me tell you something about myself. My name's Sarah. I have 4 kids. I am a wife and I love makeup. It's saved my biscuit more than a few times when it comes to stressful times in life and just everything. And so I love my makeup. I have way more than I should, but I love it and it's therapeutic. And I love me a good drugstore haul, so that is what we are doing today for my back to school segment. We're going to do a look where you can get ready for school in like under 30 minutes. This hairdo took me about 5, 2 pigtail ponytails, another rubber band to mess up a messy bun, and just a couple of pins to keep everything in place. A little squirt of hairspray and you're done. And this look, I would say, would probably take me or any average person maybe 15-20 minutes to complete. Obviously the video is a little bit longer just so that I can explain everything that's happening. So if you would like to see this back to school look and find some amazing drugstore products that you can buy, I would say this face costs me maybe $20, $25, I would say. So yeah, keep on watching if you want to see how to beat your face for school. Okay, so today we will be starting with eyes. I have already done my eyebrows because they take forever, and most people have hair on their eyebrow area. I do not. So we have done the eyebrows, I've cut them out, carved them out, and we have set them with a little bit of setting powder just so they don't crease while we're working on the eyes. And I'm going to be using today the Wet n Wild, some cute little eyeshadow palettes. Tells you exactly where to put everything. Like right here says transition, brow bone, crease, eyelid. They're pretty cute. I think they were like $3 or $4 at the drugstore. And I've got the 2 palettes. One is Sweet as Candy, and one is Petalette. That's what it says. Petalette. Yes. I might not be saying it right, but close enough. So for this eye look today, we're going to go in with a mauve shade, very neutral, and then just a tiny bit of this brown on the outer edge just to kind of warm it up a little bit, deepen it up a little bit, you know, give it some definition, which is definitely what you're looking for. I think for school is you want to look natural, but still snatched, if I'm right. So you're just gonna window washer that mauve right into your crease area. Now, if you do not have hooded eyes because you're a little young thing, then don't worry about trying to get that shade like up as close to your eyebrow as possible. If you don't have hooded eyes yet, don't do the hooded eyes trick because it won't look right. So just stick that in your crease. And these blend really nicely. There's a ton of fallout, but you know what? For $3, I think I won't complain about that because the pans in these little palettes are actually quite large, so I am not complaining. So like I said, I'm using a fluffy brush and we're just window washering this color in the crease slightly above. You do not have to bring it up super high. Just keep it easy and breezy, lemon squeezy. I'm going to go in with a little bit of a smaller fluffy brush, like it's got more of a tip to it. And I'm going to go in with that brown shade from the Sweet as Candy palette. And just hit that outer edge. Just kiss it. Just give it a little kiss. Just like so. And I'll show you, compare the two so you can see that it doesn't do a whole lot, but just enough. Just enough to really give you like this natural glow. Like compared to the other one, you could totally go with just a quick one eye color, no big deal. But I feel like just 2 extra seconds, and it gives you a little bit of extra oomph. My recommendation is if you're going to school, don't go nuts on the makeup. Chances are it will actually make you feel more self-conscious. Now, if you're the kind of person that has to wake up and beat your face every single day before school, then you go on and do that. My recommendations are merely what I would be saying to my girls when they're going into school is, you know, just look your best, but don't try and look like something that you're not. You know, look cute, look youthful. I even did like a youthful eyebrow today where I did more of like a straight line rather than like my old lady arch. So like, don't try and transform your eyebrows into something else, something that they're not. Just be you and enhance what God already gave you. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not beautiful, because if they do, that just means that they are not beautiful on the inside. So don't take it to heart. Love who you are. I'm going to take a quick blending brush and just mesh these two together really nicely. So it's looking very nice and natural. And I am going to go in and use one of the Brow Bone shades in these palette. They look identical, except one looks maybe a little more shimmery than the other one. And just sweep this under my eyebrow, blending that top purpley color. So it's giving it more of a natural feel, less creases. You don't want any creases. It just makes it even more obvious that you are wearing the makeup. Here you have quick eye. Let's do a little bit of eyeliner. Okay, we have curled our lashes and we are ready for some mascara. I'm going to be doing a 2-part kind of a thing, just because it's kind of like my new favorite way to do eyelashes when I want them to like stay all day and not wear falsies. I go in with like one of whatever your favorite mascara is. My favorite mascara is the Benefit Roller Lash, but you can't get that at the drugstore, so I will pull out the Lash Paradise by L'Oreal, and that's just like a normal black mascara. So I'm going to use that one first, and then I'm going to go on with a light coat over that with a very simple waterproof mascara. This is the Skinny Mascara by Wet n Wild, and it's waterproof. And so we will just go in with the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Make sure you're getting to the roots. And before you let it dry, you want to go in with that waterproof and just give it a quick coat. And this should keep your mascara in place on your eyelashes all day. Plus, you should be able to avoid all that gross flaking that happens like about 1:30, 2 o'clock. Yeah, I know. I remember. Okay, now we're moving on to the face, and like I said, I'm sticking to all drugstore. So, we are going to use the Maybelline Master Prime Primer Base in Blur and Smooth. And we'll be using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the shade Soft Beige. Wet n Wild, y'all. Wet and Wild. And also the Wet n Wild Concealer Corrector in the lightest shade they have. And to set everything, we are going to go in with the all famous Cody Air Spun Powder. It's like $5.98 I think at Walmart. So I'm not sure exactly how much it is at the drugstore, but it's probably around $6. And we're also going to be setting the face with a little bit of Fit Me by Maybelline Matte Plus Poreless Powder in Creamy Beige. I was looking for the color. And a little bit of blush and a little bit bronzer. How cute is this compact by e.l.f.? You've got 2 blushers, 2 bronzers. You're good to go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now there's another option that I have out by Flower brand. Really cute. This is all drugstore and Walmart hauls. This is very loved, so ew. But seriously, it's got a bronzer, it's got a blush, and a highlighter. So awesome things for getting ready in a hurry. I will probably go with this one today. Maybe throw in a little bit of that e.l.f. blush just for a little extra something. Okay, we are primed and feeling nice and tacky. I'm gonna go in with this foundation by Wet n Wild, the Photo Focus. I hear tons of great things about it, you guys. I mean, this has been people's favorite for like a long time. So yes, we are going to use this today and snatch up this face with some concealer as well. I'm hoping this is the correct shade. Could be a little lighter. We'll make it work. All right, so we're gonna roll up our sleeves. We're gonna put a little towel down on our lap because we all know foundation can frickin' ruin everything, your outfits and whatever. And I'm also gonna spray my Beauty Blender by Eco Tools. Also available at your drugstore. My favorite beauty blender. Give it a couple little squirts of setting spray. It will just help make your foundation stay on a bit longer and just look flawless throughout your entire day, because we all know those fluorescent lights can be brutal. So I'm going to start on the outside of the face. Now, chances are you're young, you're beautiful, and you don't need a whole lot of foundation. So don't go nuts, don't cake up your face for school, there's no reason to. But if you have blemishes, definitely cover those up if that is something that makes you insecure. So I'm going in really lightly with my foundation, and I'm kind of hitting all my trouble areas first, like areas of discoloration and maybe like old scars. I'm old, so I can say that. So I'm really focusing this on the outside of my face, and then when I am all done, we're going to blend on the neck a bit. Don't want that orange line that everybody can see, or tan line, whatever color you're using. Bring it all the way down to as far as you can without touching your clothes. Get a little bit behind your ears because there's sometimes a line there as well. And make sure you are getting into that hairline real good. Stretch your nose. Make sure you're just getting it in everywhere. And then take whatever you got left. Hopefully it's just a bit. I went a bit overboard. And just lightly go into your center area. If you're applying concealer, no need to take your foundation all the way under your eye. It's just going to add extra texture and extra product that you can't even see. So yeah, this is going in the center of my face so that I don't look cakey. I've covered up the areas that I most feel like self-conscious about. In the center of my face, not too bad. I have a couple little freckles. If you want your freckles to show through, just do what I'm doing and lightly put some foundation on the center area or wherever your freckles are. If you have freckles on your forehead, just very lightly put some foundation so you're correcting the color. Next is concealer. This foundation is fantastic, you guys. Do you see how easy it blends? Fantastic. Now to keep your concealer contour more natural looking, so it doesn't look like you're like shaping out your face necessarily, you want to use the same beauty blender that you're blending your foundation with. So that you're kind of blending the two together harmoniously without even trying. Because let's face it, it's early, you're in a hurry. We ain't got time for all of this. I like this beauty blender, it's very flexible. It can get into the small places that you want it to if you squeeze it hard enough. You take this to school like a stress ball. And fix up your makeup anytime you want. Quick tip, if you're sweating at all, like have PE and they make you run or something stupid like that, have a little beauty blender with you. And instead of like getting paper towel or whatever and like dabbing your face, use your beauty blender and tap away the sweat wherever it's at on your face. I should be specific. And it will preserve your makeup and get rid of that sweat for you. I wash my beauty blender with like my bathroom hand soap just about every time I use it. So not just about every time I use it. That's how I get it wet, is I wash it. And you can tell I did not do a ton of concealer. I am a little bit older, so I probably did a little bit more than even a younger person would have to do. But it just brightens you up a little bit, makes you look awake. Even if that's all you got time for, get her done. I'm gonna go in with my Coty Air Spun powder and just lightly get under the eyes, just so that your makeup does not crease. Now, creasing doesn't just happen because you're old and have wrinkles like me. It happens because of the product. Maybe what you're putting on under the product, whatever. It happens, whether you're young or old. Concealer has a tendency to get a bit patchy, a bit greasy. Like if you get sweaty, that could be like the first place that it goes to. So I'm just hitting a couple little areas. If you have a breakout, this stuff is fantastic to put on top of once you've concealed. It's fantastic to set that concealer and map down that blemish so you don't even know that it's there. Okay, we've got to put a little bit of color on this face and we are just about done. I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. bronzer and the flower bronzer because they're like very different shades, and the flower one is definitely the darkest. So I'm just going to add a little bit of color to my face. I'm using a, I believe, Wet n Wild blusher brush. It is my favorite, has been my favorite for over a year now to do my bronzing, contouring, that kind of thing. It's funny because it's like a $2 brush and it is my go-to. I've got my Morphe brushes, I've got all kinds of brushes. But when it comes to doing this part of my face, the bronzing and contouring, I gotta have my Wet n Wild blusher brush. It is soft and perfect. Fits my face just fine. If you've got a large forehead, a quick tip is take a little bit of your bronzer or contour and hit just on the sides of your head, like right here, and bring it down into your contour line here. And that way it just shows the focus right here, and it actually dims down the fact that you have kind of a large forehead. Now I have a large forehead because my hair is receding because I'm almost 40. But some people just don't have a great hairline. I never really have. So that's a great tip to be able to kind of hide that thing that makes you self-conscious about your hairline, because I've always been self-conscious about that. I've even gone to the point where I'll put brown eyeshadow right here to like cover up the fact that like my hair is thinning in the front. Ugh, age. And if you have a double chin like me, I've had it since I came out of my mother's vagina. You have to contour your neck. Basically where the double chin is, here's mine. It's like huge, you guys, it's huge. Someday when I'm rich, I'll get rid of it. And this is how you create what I call on my channel a floating head. I like to float. And I'm going to basically set all of that with that Fit Me by Maybelline face powder in creamy beige. Yes, creamy beige. And I'm just lightly going over the face with this. I know I'm probably at this point thinking like, oh, this is kind of a lot of powders. But I'm using a very light hand with the powders, and at the end of the day, let's be real, we're gonna set this with setting spray. So you can pack on as much stinking powder, you can throw a bag of flour at your face, hit it with some setting spray, you'll be looking great. So now we're going to do a cool little trick that I've learned, and it is with the highlighter. Basically, the trick is to highlight before you put your blush on. I'm using a tiny little Koki, I think that's how you say it, Koki fan brush. And I'm using the Flower brand highlighter in this palette right here. It is the Lift and Sculpt Contouring Palette. It's got a great highlighter in it, a great blush, and a great bronzer. And I believe it was $9. I love Walgreens and I love Walmart because I have a lot of kids and so I shop there for like everything. So I'm already there and they always have stuff clearanced and on sale and I'm just like, oh, thank you. Slightly bring that into the corner of my brow bone with that fan brush. And a little bit of lip action. Don't go nuts, you guys. And make sure you're picking the right shade. Don't always go with a white highlighter, like the pearliest color you can find. Sometimes the gold, if that's what is matching your face tone better, go with the gold because you might regret walking into school looking like a frickin' strobe light. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to go in with the blush that is in this contour palette. This palette has a ton of fallout, which I think is why I hit pan on this stuff like so hard. Tap off the excess. You don't want to be regretting when you put too much on. And what you want to do with this blush is you want to cover the whole cheek, like this whole area where you just highlighted. That's where you want your blush to go. And you're going to take basically a blank powder brush or whatever you want to call it, and you're just going to merge the two together. This is kind of how you get like a glow within kind of a look. Do you see? Do you see? Let's try it one more time. The blush goes right on top of the highlighter. And then I take a blank blending brush and press it together. Gives you a very natural, like, oh, this is like, I just have a perfect complexion. Yes, I do. And there you go. Sorry about that. Check all your angles, make sure you're nice and blended, and we are moving on to the bottom lashes and lips. All right, we're gonna go back in with this Sweet as Candy palette and go in with the brown matte and the brown shimmer. Tap off the excess because you're gonna be all up in your eye. And just lightly dust that all over the lid. Want to tight line your eyes, go for it. I would recommend, if you're going into a classroom, like a nude or maybe even a brown, because if you walk in there with a white one, it's going to be really obvious and really like kind of blinding. And if you walk in there with a black tight line, a waterline, should be saying waterline, it's going to really shrink your eyes, which, I don't know, I just don't think kids want that these days. They want big juicy eyes, big juicy lips, big juicy cheeks. Bigger the better. And then before I'm done under my eyes, I am going to go in with the same palette, Sweet as Candy, and the eyelid, the pink shade. And just go under that brown line. Just to kind of finish off the eyes and get them looking like they're finished little pieces of artwork. And then you're going to take your, what did I do with it? What did I do with it? You're going to take your Mega Slim Skinny Mascara, waterproof, just lightly hit those bottom lashes. This is a great mascara for like get in there because it's just the longest, thinnest wand I've ever seen on a mascara. I love it. Now look at the comparison between the two. This one just looks more finished and like perfectly textured. This one just looks, I don't know, like there's something about it that's just not finished. I got your finisher right here. There you go. Now it looks I've got one last little tip before we finish off this look, and that is to go ahead and do your setting spray. Make sure you hit the lips, not mouth open. And now we can go ahead and apply some lipstick, and with that setting spray kind of coated on the lips, it gives an extra layer of hold. It's kind of like hairspray for your makeup and for your lips. Same idea, that it holds whatever it is that's on there. Same deal with doing it on your lips. And I'm going to go in with a bright pink, but then I'll tone it down with a nude. And these are Wet n Wild 93-cent lipsticks, I think they are, 98-cent maybe. When you get old, your memory is just gone. think I have just about every shade of these. I love a cute frosty lip for 98 cents, you guys. Dead. This is the shade 504A Pink Ice. Pink Ice. In the Wet n Wild Bullet Lipsticks. I love it. And now we're going to go in with the shade A Short Affair. Oh, I haven't even opened it yet. I just hit up my Walmart haul real hard in July. They had so much stuff on sale, and because of that, I just like found these lipsticks, and I was like, how did I never know that these were here? Did I just like see them and think, 98 cents? Are you kidding me? It's gonna be horrible. You tell me. Silicone? Okay, you can't see what I just did, so that didn't work. But the rest of it looks great. I suppose we could always add like a pretty little gloss to it. Is that what we should do? Just add a cute little gloss? Let's see. I don't know. I think what I want to do, because if we're going to school, I'm going to use a vitamin lip oil. Now it's from Ulta, but I do know that lots of drugstore brands have their own. Coconuts. And the very last thing is just to set that face one last time with your lips on. And enjoy the moment because you're about to go to school. Now, I think having a good makeup routine before you go to school, or even just skincare routine, hair routine, anything, it helps get you ready for your day, it helps make you feel organized and put together and proud, and I don't know, so I think it's a really good idea to look your best and do your best, and you will feel your best. Thanks for watching, you guys. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if you liked this video, and I will see you for the next one. Bye.